That is good. What is that?
So Ralph wants to stay?
I mean, he was just like so good. How are you? Come in again. Ellen. Ellen's around here. Ellen Davidson. So
He was down here when you guys were getting ready?
he was down here when he got the calls. I like the artwork you did for us. Thank you. Yeah.
Gotta remember there, this is like
You've got a letter? Yes, you do. Yeah, and it's just not an umbrella. It's just part of an action. So when we call for the umbrella action, it's gonna be, and then sharing the. Oh, right. That would fill up.
If I lose track of you all, I'll look for the top person's hair.
Yeah.
Easy to find.
I'll be roaming around doing this.
Remember, if you get too hot, I have a bottle of water in there.
Okay.
I'm old and blind. I get to do what I want.
Where are we supposed to go? There they are. He's with him. Okay. Let's go.
So, I cannot even imagine, and I know some of the Guantanamo prisoners, I believe the one from Britain, he said he wants to die, and that's bad, that's real bad. Well, I think he's over. I think he's over.
Okay, Joan, we're missing one, so we're looking for it. Sergey's looking for it. Why don't you move forward a little bit and spread out a tiny bit and move the clothes over and the Guantanamo over. So we need an end. Sergey's looking for it. All right. So let's move forward a little bit over here at this end. Allie? Safest space for the song. Over here. Good. Hi. Okay, Joan, we're missing one, so we're looking for it. Sergey's looking for it. Why don't you move forward a little bit and spread out a tiny bit and move the clothes over and the Guantanamo over. So we need an end. Sergey's looking for it. All right. So let's move forward a little bit over here at this end. Allie? Safest space for the song. Over here. Good. Glad you're here.
Glad I made it.
Oh my God. Oh, Gomorrah. To what purpose is the multitude of your sacrifices unto me, says the Lord? I'm full of burnt offerings, of rams, and the fat of fed beasts. And I delight not in the blood of bullocks, or of lambs, or of he-goats. When you come to appear before me, who has required this at your hand? Break my court. Bring no more your revelation.
last month where the people chose to be very civil disobedient. It was like a standoff between the police for 2 hours.
Take heed, for the Bible says in the book of Job, God is a jealous God, and He's right now judging this nation.
44 of those men are being force-fed, which means having a tube staked through their nose into their stomach twice a day. One person is currently in the hospital. Behind me on these strings are the names of 86 men. 86 of those men who have been cleared to be released from Guantanamo. They have been cleared not once, not twice, most of them 3 times to be released from Guantanamo. In the building behind me sits the man with the power to release them. And so we're here again after President Obama's initial promise to close Guantanamo was broken, and now after his recommitment to close Guantanamo has resulted in 0 men being released. We are here to ask the President, to plead with the President, to release these 86 men, and then to release the rest of the men who remain in Guantanamo. And so we come today with heavy hearts, but we also come today with a sense of hope. We know the men in this prison are using the only tool that they have, their own body. And we as American citizens need to amplify their voices and their struggles and join with them. So thank you for being here today. And we invite you to join us today and beyond until Guantanamo prison is shut down. Thank you.
Thanks, Matt. And my name is T.C. Morrow with the National Religious Campaign Against Torture. And next I'll introduce my colleague, Laura Markle Downton.
Friends, today we light this candle to include in our presence the 166 men at Guantanamo.
There are people all over the country participating in a rolling fast to be in solidarity with the men at Guantanamo who are on hunger strike. And we have with us today Diane Wilson, who's a 4th-generation shrimper and an environmental activist on the Texas Gulf Coast. And if I understand correctly, Diane, you're on your 55th day of a water-only hunger strike in solidarity with the Guantanamo hunger strikers.
Thank you very much. I'm real glad to be in the most important spot I think I can be. I'm on a 57th day of a hunger strike. I've lost 46 pounds. I am a little daffy in the head at times, and I forget things, so I like to keep it short. But I am here with you people of conscience for one reason. It's because I think the man behind me, and he might be hiding in the closet right now, but I believe he is the man that can start the release of these detainees now, today, and I believe it is pressure, our pressure, that will make him do it. And I believe a wave is growing, and Obama best look out his window.
Thank you, Diane. I'd like to introduce retired Colonel Ann Wright, and on my left, and Medea Benjamin, who are with Code Pink.
If I could ask all the people who went on our trip to Yemen to please come up also, Jody and Pam and Tyke. First, I want to say, as a retired U.S. Army colonel, I spent 29 years in the U.S. military, and what our military is doing to these men down in Guantanamo is a crime. And I call upon our military people to stop doing what they're being told by the political masters to do. It's wrong, it's illegal, and they will suffer for this for the rest of their lives for what they're doing to these men. Now, I want to also mention that we have other hunger strikers that are here. Diane Wilson, 54 days. Elliot, 57 days. Elliot Adams, 41 days. Leslie Angeline, 13 days. Joan Sallard, pardon? 12 days. Cynthia Papermaster, 12 days. And Tarek Koff, how many? 19 days. So let's give a big round of applause for all of these people that are in solidarity with the people of Guantanamo, the men in Guantanamo. Code Pink Women for Peace took a delegation of 7 people to Yemen, a place where 56 out of the 86 people who've been cleared for release, they're from Yemen. It is so important for our national security that we recognize what has happened. That indeed the United States of America is called the terrorist country by most countries of the world. And those families that we spoke with, families of Guantanamo prisoners, and also the families of drone strike victims from the United States, drone strikes from the United States. What is happening to the United States, what reputation we have left, by these policies that the Obama administration is continuing and even increasing, is really jeopardizing our national security. Medea Benjamin will talk to us about some of the specific people that we met with.
So here we're representing the names of some of the families that we met with from Yemen. And I just want to give some anecdotes from what we heard from those families. I am representing here the family of Abdul Rahman Muhammad. His family drove 7 hours to meet us in Sana'a. When he went to Pakistan, he went to teach the Quran. He was detained while his wife was pregnant. His daughter is now 12 years old. She has never seen her father. Her mother named her Auda, which means come home. Auda got up and tried to speak in front of our delegation and immediately started crying and couldn't talk. Her uncle said, "Sometimes tears are the best message." We also met with the family of Abdul Haim. They drove 12 hours to tell us their story. He was only 17 years old when he went to Pakistan and was picked up and sent to Guantanamo. His family didn't have the heart to tell his mother where he was. They said they told her she was in the university. For years she kept asking, "Where is he? Why doesn't he call? Why can't I speak to him?" They said he's very busy in the university. Finally, she demanded they tell her the truth, and they told her what happened. She was so grief-stricken that a month later she was dead. They said she passed away, her heart aching for her son. Another family we met with was the family of Salman Yahya. Their family only found out he was in Guantanamo because they saw it on television. For an entire year, they had no idea where their son was. It was the sister who was talking to us. She said that her family has been so affected, every sister in the family, their husbands have divorced them and taken their children. They are too scared to be associated with a family who has someone in Guantanamo. She said, "We are all outcasts." We met the family of Hamad Al-Mithani. He was 23 when he was taken away. His brother said he was chubby and had bright skin. Now he's skinny and has a weird color. He looks ashen. His eyes are sunken. Before he was detained, he was engaged. His fiancée waited 10 years. 10 years she waited for him until she finally gave up, got married to someone else. And the last one I wanted to mention is the family of Hayal Aziz. And it was his brother-in-law and the mother who talked to us. The brother-in-law said, every 2 months we get a chance to have a video conference thanks to the Red Cross. This last time we saw him and he looked so strange. His nose was swollen. And at first we didn't understand why until we remembered that's where they force the tube down his nose for the force feeding. They said after 5 months on a hunger strike, he is living in a dead body. His lawyer said he lost consciousness and was taken to the hospital. His mother said, the only way I'm going to see my son is when he's dead. She said, Al-Qaeda is exporting terrorism. What is the U.S. exporting? If Americans were held in Yemen under these conditions, what would Americans do? We hear there are animal rights in the United States. What about the rights of our sons? Your government is not a gang, it's not a mafia, it's a government. It is supposed to follow the rule of law. You can never return the 12 years you've taken from our sons, but please, have mercy on them and have mercy on us. Go back and tell your president, please return them to us. Thank you.
Thank you, Medea and Anne, for bringing those words from your recent trip to Yemen. Next, I'd like to introduce Eileen Diaz-Bacalso, who is with the Torture, Abolition, and Survivors Support Coalition.
Good noon to all of us. I'm Eileen Bacalso. I'm from the Asian Federation Against Involuntary Disappearances from the Philippines. We work with survivors and families of the disappeared who themselves are also victims of torture. I would like to read a letter which we wrote to President Obama and sent on the 29th of April this year. We call on the U.S. government to stop disappearance, torture, renditions, unfair trials, and arbitrary, indefinite, and secret detention in Guantanamo. Dear President Barack Obama, as a federation of human rights organizations in Asia, AFAD is extremely concerned that at least 52, and by some accounts as many as 130 men at Guantanamo Bay detention camp are on hunger strike. The men have been subjected to treatment that violates their rights, including the confiscation of photos and letters, searches of their Qurans, and brutal treatment at the hands of their guards. We understand the despair men in such a situation suffer. Most of the prisoners at Guantanamo have been cleared for release. Nonetheless, they remain imprisoned, some for over a decade now. Indefinite detention violates your own executive order of January 22nd, 2009, since, in the opinion of experts, it amounts to psychological torture. The continued imprisonment of innocent men at Guantanamo Bay and the decision to indefinitely detain a number of those not deemed suitable for trial make us question the commitment of the United States to basic human rights. Please instruct the U.S. Department of Defense to meet the detainees' concrete demands regarding their day-to-day treatment. And please, Mr. President, take all measures necessary to release the prisoners you have cleared for release. Please ensure that the prisoners who have yet to be tried receive fair trials. Those 46 men that have slated for indefinite detention, in your opinion, suitable for neither trial nor release, must all the same be freed. If a man cannot be convicted on evidence, he must be given his liberty. International law forbids indefinite detention. Surely your own heart forbids it as well. We stand in solidarity with the Torture, Abolition, and Survivor Support Coalition, and all of you here, our co-member of the International Coalition Against Enforced Disappearances and other concerned human rights organizations in calling for these requests. We thank you for hearing our concerns. The Asian Federation Against Involuntary Disappearances, which is member organizations in Bangladesh, India, Indonesia, Nepal, Philippines, Sri Lanka, Thailand, South Korea, and Timor-Leste. Thank you very much.
Eileen, thank you for reading that letter and for your witness. I'd like to next introduce Dr. Saeed Saeed, who is the Director of the Office of Interfaith and Community Alliances for the Islamic Society of North America. Dr. Saeed.
Greetings of peace and Assalamu alaikum. I want to tell you how great it is, how rewarding it is. You are being here in this heat, expressing your solidarity. And I want you to express solidarity of the Muslims in America with you in this great task. You know that Islam, Christianity, Judaism, Hinduism, Sikhism, all religions believe that there is a spark of divine spark in every human being. When we torture a human being, live or dead, we are actually robbing them of that spark. We are desecrating the creation of God. So that's why every religion is against this kind of treatment. So Islam leaves no room for the torture of human beings or of other creatures of God. As American Muslims, it's extremely painful for us to see that our country has not only practiced torture as a means of interrogation, but also used the services of Muslim dictators through rendition to torture prisoners, making it a standard practice for suppressing the freedom of speech in Muslim countries. We are now in the midst of Arab Spring, celebrating the fall of many of these dictators who oppress their own people. We are glad that some of these practitioners of torture on mass scale have been disgraced already. We hope that and pray that our country will provide the world with a model of democratic and humane values by banning this dehumanizing practice here at home. The Quran tells us that our Almighty God created man and invested him with an inherent dignity. The Prophet Muhammad was once asked about a woman who was reported to be pious and performing all her religious duties. Even though this woman was pious and she had imprisoned her cat and starved it to death as a means of punishment, the Prophet said that because of this act of torture, the woman would be punished by God and her acts of piety would be of no avail. The companions of Prophet understood, learned that if cruelty to a cat can be so damning, cruelty to human beings is considered even more unacceptable by our Creator. So we are here to express our concern because Guantanamo Bay has become a symbol, an American symbol, a stigma that is now associated with our country. That is very unfortunate, and we demand that it is closed as soon so that we don't send wrong messages to the Muslim world. Thank you. Jazakumullahu khairan.
Thank you, Dr. Saeed. Now turn over the microphone to Art Laughlin, who's going to lead us in song.
Sisters and brothers, the biblical imperative to proclaim liberty to the captives has taken on critical urgency with respect to the Guantanamo hunger strikers. As we sing this song, let us remember the 9 prisoners who have died since 2006 at Guantanamo. Adnan Latif cried out Where's the world to save us from torture? Where's the world to save the hunger strikers? We are here to make sure that no more prisoners die and to proclaim liberty to the captives. And so we sing, courage, Guantanamo brothers, we seek your liberty. We will stand with you until we all are free. Let's sing it so Mr. Obama can hear us. Courage, Guantanamo brothers, we seek your liberty. We will stand with you until we all are free. Courage, Guantanamo brothers, we seek your liberty. We will stand with you until we all are free. Courage, Guantanamo brothers, we seek your liberty. We will stand with you until we all are free.
Thank you, Art. I'd like to introduce Zahmed Mojaka with Amnesty International.
I'll start off with offering my condolences to friends and families of people who perished in Pakistan last week. Oh, is it fine now? Okay. So I'll just start off with offering my condolences to friends and family of people who perished in Pakistan last week. There were 11 tourists, 9 of which were foreigners. They were shot point blank. When I got to know the details of the incident and the cruelty with which they were killed, I felt angry and sad. A part of me just wished that we could treat them exactly the way they had treated those people, with the same cruelty, just shooting them point blank without asking any questions, without asking them what their crime was, without giving the chance to explain themselves. It was not the first time my country has experienced an extreme violence. We have pretty much become desensitized until I individually experienced something like that. My uncle was killed in 2010 in one of the terrorist attacks. There were 100 other people with him. It was a very difficult time for my family. We knew that we were never going to get justice because we could not just rely on the system. We felt sad, helpless, frustrated. And even though I've been a pacifist and a human rights activist for as long as I can remember, a part of me just wished for those people to be killed without following the due process of law, or without just making sure that there was any transparency. But then it just hit me that if we let go of our values, we will be stooping to the same level as these terrorists, the values of whom we seek to condemn. It's a very overwhelming situation for us all who are in Pakistan, and I'm sure, and like even all the families who were mentioned, people who just don't know where their relatives are, they must feel equally frustrated, they must feel equally helpless. And we have all come together today to show our solidarity with them, and we are transcending our individual biases and prejudices and just raising our voices against this torture and like closing and just urging President Obama to close Guantanamo Bay. We know this is how like we ordinary humans react to extraordinary situations. We tend to resort to emotionality, but we should stick to rationale. It has taken us so many years to value principles like we have learned to respect sanctity of life. We should just stick to those values. Let's all urge President Obama to close down Guantanamo, to give these people a right to free and fair trial. At least let's just hear them out, give them a chance to defend themselves. You can do so by going to amnestyusa.org/closeIt. We have a petition online. You just have to sign that. It's addressed to President Obama. I hope that it just gets closed down and all your efforts, they are fruitful. Thank you.
Thank you, Zainab. I'd like to introduce Deborah Sweet with World Can't Wait, and she's going to speak quickly to an issue that many of our groups are also working on, and that is ending solitary confinement.
Sisters and brothers, we have international solidarity. We have love for the Guantanamo hunger strikers, for the victims of the drone bombings, and we also recognize the need to oppose mass incarceration by our own government. Here and abroad, every night, it is estimated 80,000 prisoners in the gulag of the world, the United States of America, where more people are incarcerated per capita than any country ever, 2.5 million, are in solitary confinement. This is torture. And on July 8th, the California prisoners at Pelican Bay start their own hunger strike against solitary confinement and torture in U.S. prisons. Please support them. Please learn more about it. WorldCan'tWait.net, StopMassIncarceration.org. Thank you.
Thank you, Deborah. It's now my pleasure to introduce Rabbi Feinberg with Interfaith Action for Human Rights. Rabbi Feinberg.
Thank you. Good afternoon. So I have to tell you a little story. I left my office with a shofar in my hand. I was asked to blow a shofar. And somewhere between my office and here, I lost it. But I'm going to talk about the shofar anyway, because I think it is. Is that better? Yes. How's that? Good. The shofar, I think, is very meaningful for this demonstration. The shofar is blown on the Jewish high holiday of the New Year, Rosh Hashanah, and it is, on one level, a call to judgment. We call the community to judge themselves, and that's what we are doing here today. We are calling our community, the great United States of America, its people, its citizens, to judgment over the fact that we keep over 100 people locked up in Guantanamo without any charge. We sound the shofar to ask God to judge us, and that's what we do today as well. And we sound the shofar to ask God to rise from his strict throne of justice and to rise to his throne of mercy and compassion. And we sound the shofar today to ask the citizens of this country to leave their judgments aside and to go and sit on the throne of mercy and consider the fate of these poor men who have been locked away for so many years and without any charge being leveled against them, and for so many of them having been cleared of any wrongdoing as well, and yet they still are not been released. And so we ask all the people of this country and the officials of our administration, the President himself, to rise from the throne of judgment to the throne of mercy. We sound different notes on the shofar. According to the Jewish tradition, the notes represent the sound of either a woman crying or of a man sighing. And we here today have tears in our eyes, and we sigh in great grief because of the fate of these men. We sigh for them and what has happened to them, and we also sigh and cry for what has happened to the values of the Bill of Rights and our Constitution, and how they're being trampled on by these men not being charged for any wrongdoing and being locked away and put away forever. And finally, we sound the shofar because it's supposed to remind us of a biblical story, a very troubling biblical story. The story of the binding of Isaac, when God asked Abraham to take Isaac up to a mountain and to offer him up as a sacrifice. And just as Abraham is about to do that, the angel of God comes in and tells him not to. And then Abraham sees a ram and offers up the ram itself. We are here today because our country is, and our citizenry and the administration officials are complicit in sacrificing the lives of these men. And we are not supposed to sacrifice human beings for any higher value. That is not what we're supposed to do. And so we come together, and I wish I had the shofar here to sound, but when we sound that shofar, a long blast and then short interrupted blasts, a call to God and a call to us, expression of our feeling. And one last thought. The shofar was sounded when Joshua surrounded the walls of Jericho. He sounded the shofar and the walls came down. Let us sound our own individual shofar and let the walls of Guantanamo come down. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Hello, people. I'm Cynthia Papermaster from Berkeley. I met you earlier. I'm on day 12 of my fast. And what I'd like us all to do is to together turn toward the White House. I'm going to describe what we're doing for about 1 minute. The description is going to take me 5 seconds. We're going to turn toward the White House together, and we're going to silently send our intention into the White House, into Obama's heart, because we need to reach his heart. Okay, would you do this with me, please? Thank you. Put your hand on your heart, it might increase the intention. Please free them. Freedom! 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 Justice! 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 Freedom! Freedom! Please! Please! President Obama, please free them. Thank you. Obama, free them. Please free them.
I thank everybody for coming this afternoon, and this closes our formal time of the vigil, and may you go in peace.
When you are on hunger strike, you don't have the ability to tolerate the extreme cold. This is torture upon torture. And in addition to that, they're force feeding about 40 hunger strikers with tubes that have metal points on the head. Twice a day, these prisoners have tubes with metal points placed into their delicate noses and rammed down their throats and into their stomachs to feed them. One prisoner had the tube go into his lungs and is now in the hospital because of this. Why are they doing this? They're trying to break the will of the prisoners. But you cannot break the will of those prisoners. They have nothing left to lose. This is being done in our names, and we cannot tolerate that. So let's remember why we're here today. It's a very serious reason. And we're here to tell the president to free the prisoners. Tell President Obama, free the prisoners! 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 Let's walk as members of our community. Torture! 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 Torture!
too. We saw the assault. He did nothing wrong. Don't touch me, bud. Just don't touch me.
O'Connor.
Watch out, get off the street, please. Watch on the street, please. Can I get your badge number? We're not on the street. Get on the street, please. Sir, can I get your badge number? Area's closed. Excuse me, sir. Over the fence. Push it back. Push it back. Push it back. Push it back. You need to cross
Cross the street, folks. Folks, cross the street. Cross the street. Cross the street. Cross the street now. Cross the street. Cameras waiting. Go cross the street. Get across the street right now. Get across the street. Don't touch me. Back off. Don't touch me. Back off. Don't touch me. You cannot touch me. You have no fucking right to block my shit. You have no fucking right. You have no fucking right. Keep going. Across the street, you can protest.
Sir, is there a press box?
Across the street.
Sir, is there a press box?
We will set that up.
Where will it be?
We will set that up right here.
Right here. So can I please stay here until then, since I am press? I have a camera under DC law.
Under the tree until we're able to establish that.
All right, and also, can I get the gentleman on the bike's name? He assaulted me.
Camera this way.
Yep, got him.
I'm documenting, sir.
Cross the street.
You'll be on YouTube.
Go across the street. Coming shall make no law respecting establishment of religion or prohibiting free exercise thereof or abridging freedom of speech and or press or the right of peacefully assembly and or petition the government for redress of grievance. Sir, I'm just right.
And your constitutional rights right over there.
Hey, you're staying on the uniform.
That guy won't give me his badge number.
Isaacson, badge number. Sergeant Isaacson.
Stay on the sidewalk. And we are. Sidewalk. Sidewalk. Man. Sidewalk.
Yeah, it seems to get mad. We need cameras.
Oh, we got cameras. They just won't let us get close.
Now we got the
They gotta bring the paddy wagons.
This is the cage of freedom. No, I was moving one piece at a time. I can take
But the police tape around the White House, there are crimes going on in there.
Shame on you! 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 Shame on you!
Shame! Guantanamo! America's shame!
Down! Shut Guantanamo 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 down!
Shame! 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 Shame on you! Shame on you! Shame on you!
Guantanamo down! Shut Guantanamo down! Shut Guantanamo down! Shut Guantanamo down!
Shut Guantanamo down! Shut Guantanamo down! Shut Guantanamo down! Shut Guantanamo down! Shut Guantanamo down! Shut Guantanamo down! Shut Guantanamo down! Shut Guantanamo down! Now!
This is what a police state looks like.
Shame on you!
Shame! 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 Shame!
You are complicit! You are complicit!
Shame! 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 Shame!
Shame! Shame! Shame! Shame! Shame! Shame! Shame! Shame! Shame!